far too long. They're just so scratchy.
Was it still giving you something?
Yeah, it's still giving me a little bit. Wait. Oh, it's out now. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that. That's it. That's gotta be it. Bad cable. Just switch out the cable. No, it's still bad. It's still bad.
Now, that's how you start worship service. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my beloved and beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh. It's Sunday, October 12th of 2025, and we have arrived to the fall, beautiful weather. I am Reverend Dr. Kate R. Walker. I use the she, her pronouns, and I'm honored to serve as the minister of this beloved community. I'm a middle-aged, light-skinned female. My hair is mid-length, light brown. I wear glasses, and today I am sporting lots of patterns of autumn leaves. That's my goal. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you. For those who are on YouTube, we welcome you now or in the future. And we're just delighted that you've all chosen to be with us this morning, either in your pajamas, or maybe you're in a coffee shop, or maybe you're right here sitting in your favorite pew. Or maybe you decided to bring your entire family. The Wrights clan is in the house. Welcome to all of you. If you are a longtime member, or if you are brand new and just walked in for the very first time, we're delighted that you are here. We are a multi-faith community. We welcome you as you are, whomever you love, however you arrived, and delighted to help you explore what it is you're looking for in a religious community. We ask lots of questions, and we sometimes provide answers. And we are here more than anything to provide connection in a time when that is so desperately needed. And if this is your very first time with us on YouTube, please check out our website. We have a newsletter that you can opt in on the main page down at the bottom, but send us an email, introduce yourself. And if you're in person, we do have a garden lobby welcome desk. You can say hello, and then we're going to have a big birthday bash following some chaos after worship. We will have a birthday bash, and you're welcome to hang out with us and get to know one another. So on to some announcements. Here's the easy part. The closing hymn is actually 121. We are building a new way. No, it's not 121.
No, it's Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us. Don't listen to me, listen to Ellen. 121. But the words will be on the screen. Those words are correct. That's what matters. Yay. We're all good? Please don't tell me that it's changed again. 131. Do I hear a bid for 141? Do I hear a bid going for 160? No. 131. I'm so glad we're all here, gathered. All right, so I'm going to read you our fire drill procedures. And in case you all didn't see the announcements in the emails, newsletter, or hear it from the pulpit, and you're wondering what I'm talking about, we're doing a fire drill today at the end of service. So this morning, we will close service and having our all-church fire drill. And we hope we never, of course, have to actually evacuate the building for real. But if we need to evacuate, it's important to know what is going to happen. So, benediction, last thing we're going to do today, and then the fire drill will go off. It's very loud. It's loud to motivate you to get out of the building. At that time, you will go to your nearest exit. You will leave the building, please, orderly, calmly, assist one another. We will cross the street to Winchester Thurston, and we go to the back of the school parking lot and go into the gym. I will give more detailed. Now look right now for your nearest exit. It may be behind you. All the children who will be in religious education classes will be escorted by their teachers. Parents, please, I know you want to throw your body between your children in harm, but they will not be there by the time you get down to the Mason wing. They will be out of the building. So, however, if you have a child in the nursery, please go directly to the nursery and help assist the evacuation of your children. Everybody, no matter which exit you go out, we are guiding everybody down our side of Ellsworth to the crosswalk that is at Shady Side Lane, my right, your left. Please do not use the crosswalk here. Singular place helps reduce risk of injury and getting hit by traffic, right? So making sure everybody is crossing there. There will be multiple crossing guards guiding you and directing you, and making sure everybody is staying safe. The elevator will be operating because we don't want to risk anybody for a fire drill. So if you need the elevator, it will be on today. Normally, in a true evacuation, of course, it will be turned off. So we're all gathering at the gym of our school, Winchester Thurston, across the street. And once everybody is accounted for, and I have verified that the building is completely evacuated, I'll give the all clear, and then we're going to sing a rousing, not dirge style, rousing version of Happy Birthday to Jim Wrights, who is turning 290. Is it? And I ask you to please do not then scatter to the four winds. Please, Jim will guide us in a birthday parade back to our building, and we will have a wonderful, wonderful birthday party downstairs. All good? Clear to go? Excellent. If you have any questions, don't ask me. All right, that's plenty of announcements. I invite you to take a deep breath and relax. Arrive in body and spirit. Find yourself connected as we light our chalice, the symbol of our faith. Alice. Okay, there she is. Okay, Simone. And Simone is volunteered to light our chalice this morning. 2 circles embracing the light of a flame, the flame of community, of our hearts connecting one to one in this beautiful world. As we explore the theme of intention, how do we intentionally strengthen our bonds of community during this month of October? Thank you, Simone. I invite you to stand to as able, embody in spirit, 119, once to every soul and nation.
Little technical difficulty here. Good morning. I'm Alice Carnes. My pronouns are she, her. For people with visual impairments, I'm a short, fair-skinned woman in my 70s with gray and white chin-length hair. I wear glasses with purple frames, and today I have on a blue and white shirt. The collective reading is in your order of service, so I'll wait until you're on that page. Please join your voice with mine for the collective reading. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We covenant to practice interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence, to practice pluralism, to celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. To practice justice, we work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive. To practice transformation, we adapt to the changing world. We practice generosity. We cultivate a spirit of hope. To practice equity, we declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erica Shadowsong, Lifespan Religious Education Director. I have brown skin. I'm wearing an evergreen shirt and black pants. And I'm going to read a story today, and we have, for the first time, the pictures up so that the adults can see. Hopefully that'll work out. If not, you'll have to use your imaginations. I am going to invite the children, anyone young and young at heart who would like to come up. And since we have the pictures up there, you guys can come and actually sit in a circle with me and see the pictures from my book. Hello. How's it going, Casper? If you guys want to sit in a circle around me so that you can see. It's a little tight, but you should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Great. Hi. Have you ever been the new kid? Anybody ever been the new kid at school? If you haven't, you might experience it one day. You've probably seen the new kid. It's kind of tricky to feel like you belong when you're the new person. It's hard to know how to make friends. So this story is actually a true story written by a mother and daughter about the daughter's experience being a new kid. So this is how one person tried to deal with that. It's called Can I Sit Here? On London's first day at her new school, she was feeling nervous. You're going to meet new friends, London's dad told her. Sometimes first days can be the best days, London's mom said. But as soon as she stepped out of the car, London felt lonely. It's hard to be lonely. Especially when there are people around. Lonely feels like sitting by yourself and wishing someone would sit with you. Lonely feels like missing your friends, an old house, and your favorite ice cream shop. Lonely feels like being in a new class where nobody knows your name. In her first spelling lesson, London saw words she didn't know. In her first math class, she dropped her ruler. London felt embarrassed. It doesn't feel good when you're embarrassed, does it? Embarrassed feels like hearing people giggle, but you don't know the joke. Embarrassed feels like wanting to hide so no one can see you. During reading time, the boy next to London whispered something to his friend. In the hallway, as some kids were playing a game and laughing, London felt left out. Being left out is a sad feeling, isn't it? Being left out feels like being the only person who isn't asked to play. Being left out feels like everyone has a friend except for you. At lunchtime, London saw some kids from her class sitting at a table. There was an empty seat. Maybe she could join them and make some new friends. London decided to be brave. She walked up to the table and said, "Can I sit here?" But when London set her lunchbox down, something terrible happened. All the other kids stood up. They didn't say a word. They took their trays and their food and sat down at a different table. London felt lonely. London felt embarrassed. London felt left out. She wanted to hide so no one could see her. She wanted to run and run all the way home. She wanted to cry. Poor thing. London wished this first day has been different. She wished the kids in her class had smiled at her. She wished she hadn't dropped her ruler. She wished the kids at lunch had let her sit with them, which they should have done. That night, London's mom asked her, "Did you know that God always likes you, even on your worst days?" Then London's mom said, "God likes you just the way you are, every part of you. God made every part of you and is always with you. With God, you are never alone. God loves you and God likes you." Then London's mom asked her, "What are 3 things you like about yourself?" London thought and thought. She liked that she was nice to people. She liked that she tried hard in school even though she was nervous. She liked that she had been brave even though her feelings had gotten hurt. So when London prayed with her mom and dad that night, she prayed for the courage to be brave again. The next day at school, London looked out her classroom window. She believed she could be brave even when she was sad. She believed she could be nice even when other people weren't. She believed she could be friendly even if she didn't have a friend yet. This is her looking outside her classroom. Other kids might feel alone. Other kids might feel left out. London decided she wanted to love people like God loves them. She could help make someone else's first day be the best day. At recess, London looked around the playground. Some kids were jumping rope. Some kids were swinging on the monkey bars. Some kids were going down slides or playing tag. They all had friends to play with. London felt scared again. All the kids are playing. everybody has somebody to play with. Then London saw a girl sitting alone on a swing set. She didn't know if the girl would be kind, but London decided, I can be brave. Hi, London waved at the girl. Hi, the girl smiled and kicked the ground with her shoe. My name is London. My name is Hope, the girl said. London looked at the empty swing next to Hope. Can I sit here? She said. Sure, Hope said. I saved you a seat. So remember, if you ever feel lonely or embarrassed or left out, you can be brave even when you're scared. You don't have to have friends to be friendly. You can love someone like you think God loves them. You can look for someone who needs a friend and ask, can I sit here? Being brave. Thank you so much. I hope you like the story. We are going to rise as you're willing and able to sing 1010 while the kids go to our classes. Thank you.
Thank you for that lesson, because I'm not the most experienced public speaker, so I'm being brave right now. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Mina Lani. I'm 43 years old with an olive complexion and dark brown hair laced with silver. I'm wearing a dark t-shirt with black pants, and I use she, her pronouns. After last year's presidential election, I was feeling bad and not sure what to do about it. In hopes of distraction, I opened up PBS Passport and found a documentary called Defying the Nazis. It was about a Unitarian minister, Wade Still Sharp, and his wife Martha, who saved hundreds of dissidents and refugees fleeing Nazi oppression in 1939 and 1940. Unitarian, I thought afterward. What's that? I looked it up on Wikipedia. A church where you were welcome no matter what you believed? Was there a church somewhere in Pittsburgh? Maybe? Oh my goodness, there's a UU church 1.5 miles from my house. I'm a big believer in signs from the universe, so I resolved to come to the very next Sunday and see what it was about. I still have the bulletin from my first service. I remember thinking how wonderful the collective reading was. These are values I can get behind. Oh, and the music. Okay, I'm intrigued. I attended more services, met people afterward, went to all the intro meetings. I learned that this community embodies one of my favorite aspects of old school Star Trek: infinite diversity and infinite combinations. More importantly, everyone here seeks to live these shared values in the wider world. Deeds, not creeds, was a revelation to this kid brought up in the tradition of salvation through faith alone. At a time in my life when I was craving more connection with my human family, I've found those connections here. As a former Girl Scout, I still live by the idea of leaving places better than how I found them. I believe in mutual aid and in being the change I want to see in the world. That's why I give financially to the church whenever I'm able to keep up with a rapidly changing world, to provide physical and emotional support, to keep doing all the great things it hopes to do now and tomorrow. This community needs all of us to contribute whatever and however we're able. It's our promise to one another and to the future that, although the work of justice spans generations, things will get better. I hope you'll consider making as generous a pledge as you can for the coming year. Let's fuel our beacon of hope so that it truly shines amid the darkness, attracting everyone who longs for a better world. Thank you.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Mina. The Share the Plate nominee for October is PIN. It's the Pennsylvania Interfaith Impact Network. Now I'm going to start turning my head and not telling you to look at your order of service. When we share this generosity with an organization, all donations are shared 50-50. So our religious community is made up of volunteers and staff creating and hosting a variety of programming. We rely on your financial support. In addition to the collection plate, you can donate by texting GIVE, there we go, to 412-435-1050 and following the directions. Please check the here or your order of service for more directions. The offering will now be gratefully received to support the work, the wonder, and the witness of our beloved community.
It's 8 o'clock in the night and I'm a lost cause. This old town, it just ain't what it was. Is it home? Are you there? Is it too far? Do you care? And I don't need to be held in your breath. The thought of you rips through the wind, and I can't stand where my heart's been. Left here believing that you'd still let me in. Is it home? Are you there? Is it too hard? Are you scared? And I don't need to be undeniably temporary. This worn out window, well, that's all I can see. Is it home? Are you there? Is it too far? Do you care? And I don't need to be held in your breath.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Much going on in our world today. Is much going in the world, things to celebrate, things to mourn, things to mend, and things to be joyful about. Today in this world, we are certainly grateful for the current efforts at a peace deal going on in Israel and Gaza, and we remain hopeful that it will stick, and remain hopeful that the decimation and destruction in Gaza, that the world will now focus on rebuilding, repairing, perhaps reconciling in our greatest aspirations, as our hearts continue to mend and bodies continue to be buried. As all of you are aware, there is so much in the world, and I invite you to please connect with one another through your burdens, through your fears. It feels so much better when we share these together. I invite you now into a time of silence, personal prayer, or meditation. Spirit of life, help give sustenance to our bodies like a good meal. Let us feel our hearts and our lungs and our muscles strengthened with your gift of energy and beauty. Spirit of love, help heal our deep wounds, to mend the places where we feel broken. Spirit of God of the many names that has been with us throughout the ages, remind us of the holiness and preciousness of life. Help us find those moments with every breath where we recognize our commitment to life and love, when we recognize our need for reconciliation, to strengthen the bridges between us, to cross those moments when we find fear has enveloped us, to smile at one another, to reach out our hand, or perhaps sing a song of love and joy and compassion. Let us rebuild our commitment to justice, equity, and compassion. Blessed be. And amen. I invite you to stay seated as we sing 160, Far Too Long by Fear Divided.
Far
The reading for this morning is Beyond Borders by Rick Hoyt. Go forth, because we are always going forth from somewhere, going from our homes, our childhoods, going from our cities and our countries, going from innocence to experience, to enlightenment, going into mystery and questions, going into the desert, getting to the other side. Go forth, leave behind the comfort and community of one place, head into the anxiety and loneliness of another. Carry with you love and laughter of this place, and let it light your way. Carry with you the wisdom you learned and the good memories. May they give you strength for your journey. And when you have been away long enough, far enough, done what you've set off to do, been there so long, that place too starts to feel like home. Go back to the one universal everywhere and everyone and everyone inclusive home. This beloved community of all creation that you can never really leave.
I'm wondering if how many of you know what an important date April 1st was for a long time for the city of Pittsburgh. And I'm not telling a joke. On that day, it was the traditional move day. The traditional for much of the 19th century into the mid-20th century, first April 1st and then May 1st, was a massive urban housing apartment swamp for renters, which was the majority of city residents. The Pittsburgh Press described Moving Day in 1888 as this: everywhere today could be seen loads of household goods with their suggestions of work, worry, profanity, cold meals, and refractory stovepipes, reckless draymen, and in some cases, defrauded landlords, end quote. Similar events happened in May 1st in New York City. In cities like Nashville and New Orleans, it was October 1st, and such in cities across the United States. Thousands across the country, they picked, they packed, they poked their belongings into carts, and professional vendors who were called carmen, C-A-R-M-E-N, specialize in shifting the population at exorbitant rates, of course. They lashed boxes, crates, secured mattresses, and rushed from one house to the next as families hurried out and then settled in with perhaps a little more space, a little cheaper rent, and a little closer to where they worked. So great was the compulsion that some moved simply because of the social and peer pressure. They were living into a long narrative of what was the nomadic history of American expansionism. European visitors, if they were in our country, made a point of sitting out and watching and bearing witness with awe and wonder and deep horror. Why would anyone subject themselves to such turmoil and trauma? It's a really good question. Particularly in the height of the 19th century, American mobility was estimated that 1/3 of the US population changed addresses every year. I know you're all going, what? When the first But think about it, when the first sailing ships arrived with their white colonialist expansionism into the West was driving commitment. It was guided by manifest destiny, and it didn't matter if that land happened to be already occupied. Waves of expansionism propelled across in U.S. history, and it was always motivated by profit and taming of the great wilderness into submission. The great migration of 1 million freed slaves and their descendants was crucial to the growth of the industrial expansionism, particularly here in Pittsburgh. Once we understand that the U.S. was built on a steady beat of feet and hooves and train wheels and tires, steadily carrying people into their dreams of renewed and deepened opportunity, we can begin to understand that massive mobilization created fundamental social and economic patterns in our country. So, in the Atlantic issue of March of 2025, author Yanni Applebaum, where I learned about all this, writes that the migratory nature of the American population from its inception created fundamentally important patterns specializing in socializing, growth of religion, political tolerance, and the sharing of cultural and ethnic traditions. Mobility creates opportunities, of course. Entrepreneurs get to do their thing, open a new business. Innovations have space to expand. There's greater social equality, countering classism, all as part of the great American pattern of upward mobility. It also created comfort zones with differences in cultures and beliefs and customs and food and languages and beliefs. You were automatically subject to all of that wonderful play of what your neighbor was introducing you to. It exposed to new ways of thinking. It broke down entrenched social hierarchies. Pluralism was the norm. Tolerance, celebrations. Think about Bloomfield's Little Italy days, St. Patrick's Day parades across the country. Yet that steady beat of mobility began a long decline in the middle of the 20th century. Much of those important social interchanges and those patterns were obliterated. Powerful political and economic forces increased home ownership, considered high value, shifted values toward more stability for people, increased use of the cars and highways for commuting rather than moving. You didn't need to move closer to your job, you had a car now. Slowly, people moved into their homes, for those who had them, and they stayed put. According to Applebaum, the loss of this social networking, it contributed to a loss of happiness and health and overall capacity to get along with one another has been nothing less than catastrophic for our country. I, for one, had never thought about any of this. Applebaum's narrative is compelling. New businesses are indeed down in the last 50 years. Most Americans are worse off than their parents were. Church membership is down. He notes that, but I am not completely convinced that that's just not causation, but it may be parallel to other changes, such as a drop in birth rate, in church scandals, suffocating liturgy, and frankly, inept church leadership. But Applebaum presents a strong argument for reducing barriers to increasing our mobility because, and here's the twist, our entrenchment and our proud proclamations that we have strong neighborhoods, strong communities, does not actually come to fruit. We're actually more politically entrenched in our like-minded communities than ever before. We've increased our political affiliations with our neighbors, classism, economic, and educational divisions by street. What happened in the 20th century, also noted by Applebaum, is that we're not only home, we're home alone. More people live alone than ever before. And frankly, many of our social skills are pathetic. We don't have as many third spaces, as it's called, where we can hang out together, where we can mingle and hang out. Now, people say we've got the coffee shops, but if you walk into any coffee shop, you'll see people sitting at tables and they have earbuds in their ears and laptops in their faces. They're not actually socializing or interacting. Most of us drive everywhere, no longer choosing public transportation, those of us who have middle to upper class automobiles in our driveways. And we've been building bigger and bigger and bigger houses. From 1973 to 2003, our houses increased by 50%, with lots of rooms for us to retreat into with our televisions and our computers, and we shut the door. Where instead of sitting on the front porch and talking with our neighbors, we go to the backyard where we have privacy fences. Our bigger houses were built further from the inner city, and then we demanded that our jobs come with us, and they built industrial and business parks so we didn't have to drive downtown. And into this wilderness of suburbia, we're hosting our backyard barbecues with select guests, maybe, and family. We're driving to the mall and massive grocery stores where we walk past each other but don't really talk and interchange. And now we have smartphones, which have made us less smart by most measures. Certainly less social. According to studies, we're spending more time alone. Those pandemic patterns have really stayed steady, that we're home alone. We're getting stuck into ruts of isolation, convenience, don't bother me zones. We have our meals delivered instead of going out to restaurants and meeting our neighbors, even while we overshare on social media. We're hosting fewer dinner parties, fewer book clubs, prayer groups, block parties. We're not going to the parks to meet with one another. We're going to walk our dogs. It's true. Remote working is not actually helping with our social skills for sure, and our collaborative, creative juices have taken a nosedive. We are no longer being forced into new villages where we have to learn tolerance for one another, where we're being exposed to new things. We're not moving into new territories, and instead we're just picking up the territory of our latest digital device. So without that new village, we're not learning how to disagree politely and with engagement. We're not learning how to compromise, how to listen, how to deepen our trust with one another. Without these new communities that we're being forced into, the individual is taking priority over the community. We are really, though, social beings. Even the introverts, ultimately, are social beings. We need to be connected with one another. Our survival actually depends on that connection. And it's clear that if we don't push past our lethargy and our comfort zones and our reclusive fears, we will stay in our entrenched habits. We will prefer to eat alone than if we actually just step past our closed communities and recreate those bridges, to cross the bridges in the tunnels. And just a side note, I keep hearing that about Pittsburgh, that we don't cross the bridges and go through the tunnels. We don't go into each other's neighborhoods. And I'm calling you all out. I think it's a myth. It's not what I'm witnessing. So here it be said. Next time somebody says that to me, I'm going to call them out and say, nope, that's not my experience. It really isn't. Have you ever looked at the traffic on the bridges? It's key evidence. But studies show that we need to look up from our dumb phones. That's what I'm going to start calling it now, dumb phones. So there is multiple studies that asked commuters to impact. What would be, they asked commuters to predict that during their train ride to work, if they put down their phone or their work or whatever they were doing and talked to somebody they didn't know, what would be the result? Would they have a better time? And they all said, oh no, I can't do that. No, can't talk to a stranger. They'd rather sit in isolation. So then they, of course, they did the study. They asked a select group, please put down what you're doing and actually talk to a stranger. The longer, the better. And they did, and you can probably guess the outcome. People said that they felt much more happy about their life, much more positive about themselves as well. So I tried this. I am one of those people that I put on my headphones when I'm on the train. I was on an Amtrak train to New York City, and I met John. And we discovered multiple connections. He had worked at Carnegie Natural History Museum. He knew two of my friends, that's my husband and I. He was raised Unitarian. His parents had started a Unitarian Universalist church on Long Island. So, right, personal friends, he was Unitarian, and wait for it, he had had dinner at my cousin's house in Toronto. See what happens when you talk to strangers on the train? You realize, oh, we're related. So we need to push past those anxieties of, oh, I'm not interesting, people don't want to talk to me, or I don't want to bother them. Push those aside. There's extraordinary connections and affirmations, social cohesion. As anyone who has moved a lot, 24 times is my current record, I can offer you my skill set of adaptation. That my skill set of that I have been requires me to wave and say hello to people, to look people in the eye and bond and form new friendships, because I had to. Little bit of action, and the next thing you know, some magic happens. So I invite you to think about reaching out to new and old friends, not with an email or a text. Call them. I know that's really a boundary violation for anybody under the age of 30. I'm sorry, but sometimes the phone is your friend. Sympathy, trust, compassion, inquisitiveness, affirmation, discovery from each other, and then we can start to blow past our biases and get those bubbles burst open. Try and look at it as an experiment that might make you a little happier. Try, next time you're walking on the sidewalk, look at people and say hello. My husband and I do it all the time in our neighborhood. And you know what? They're starting to say hello back to us. And if you're on a country road, you know that signal, hand on the steering wheel, and you do the wave with the one finger. Try it in Pittsburgh. If you're I know, not in traffic if you don't want, but just try the friendly waves. As you go forth, as Rick Hoyt asked us in that beautiful reading, we are always going forth. Go forth with that side of curiosity into the mystery of what's on the other side, who is out there. Be courageous. When you leave the comfort of the home, invite somebody to sit next to you instead of putting your bag in the seat so they won't. I know you've all done it. Cross that perceived border to meet the stranger. Risk something when you reach out of that comfort zone, because if we don't take those little risks, then we risk losing everything. Our social cohesion, our capacity to build communities of pluralism and equality and democratic participation depends on our capacity to push past our front door, to slip down those stairs, badly phrased, to step down those stairs and meet the neighbors. Applebaum actually wants us to change policies to increase mobilization in our population, to get people to move again who want to move, who are not moving from poor cities because they don't have money to go someplace new. They don't have a job, they don't have a place to live. But if we changed our population, if we changed our policies, we can invite people, our housing policies, invite people into new places where they can be where they want to be, with job opportunities. And for me, I have no desire to move again anytime soon. And I know some of you said, nope, I'm not moving, Kate. So here's this. I chose a house, my husband and I chose a house that has a porch. We sit on our porch and we wave and we say hello to our neighbors, most of whom I know by name, many of whom I profoundly disagree on politics. And I watch the kids play in each other's yards. I watch them play baseball right down the middle of the street because we are watching out for one another. We bring different stories and religions and politics and jobs and races and class. I kind of see it as a giant Permanente Brothers sandwich. It's everything we've got here in Pittsburgh is right on our street. Which brings me to the perfect segue as I wrap things up. You don't see this coming. Star Trek. For you, Mina. Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, which is the current series of Star Trek. This season, the Enterprise, in one particular episode, was headed to a planetary system called Permanente. And they were going to Permanente 3, a well-known vacation spot where the crew was given 3 days of leave. And this arrived with the exclamation that on that planet, they served a sandwich with fries inside. I kid you not, Pittsburgh made it to Star Trek. Yes, there you have it, an iconic television series fundamentally about exploration and mobility of the human species, learning strange new worlds, embracing tolerance, celebrating diversity, and profound commitment to community as well as individual development. So in our theme of the month, I invite you to think about how you can intentionally strengthen our social cohesion with strangers, who have yet to be friends. Get out there, smile, wave, invite someone for tea, go to Permante's Brother if you need to. And if you also need to, pack a box, move into a new neighborhood. It's the American way. Blessed be, Amen, Ashe. Let us sing 131. That says 121 Mobile.
It's not. It's Love Will Guide Us. Oh man, what a mess. Okay, my apologies. You know, we're learning together, right?
Love will guide us.
Love Will Guide Us, number 131. We'll need to use our hymn books.
Please stand as you're able.
Number 131 in the gray hymn book, Love Will Guide Us.
Together.
I invite you to bring your voices together as we extinguish our flame, which we certainly don't want to burn while we're out of the building. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth, my beloved, into the gym across the street. But please come back ready to celebrate. We've got this. You've got this. This is where social cohesion is built and loved and developed. I have total faith in all of you. Go with peace. Dan, pull the plug.